Hey everyone, welcome to the Forever Project. My name is Cindy Iswa and I am a wife, a mom, a student, a content creator, and I'm just trying to figure out life one step at a time. Welcome to the Forever Project. So in today's video, I want to talk about the after effects of quitting my job without a plan, me realizing how much my job was weighing me down, and what I'm actually doing or what I'm going through in the process of healing from that. Because I realized outside of being in the job, I was actually traumatized. And so I just want to share with you where I'm at and what I'm doing. So grab a blanket, grab a cup of coffee, hot chocolate, tequila, whatever works for you. Get cozy and let's talk about this. And don't forget to like and subscribe and tell their friends to join this channel. Join or subscribe to the channel. One day we'll join those membership things, but for now just like this video and subscribe to this channel. Alright, so let's talk about the aftermath of quitting my job. Please don't mind me, I did make some notes on my phone, so I will be looking down just to gather my thoughts, because if you let me, I will go on a tangent, so let's keep it controlled. But when I quit my job, the first few days felt like relief, and I actually didn't believe what I'd done and what the decision I'd made. I thought I'd wake up and I'd be back in hell, basically. But I felt a sense of relief for the first couple of days, and I couldn't believe it was me. I couldn't believe I made such a bold move, because I felt that I haven't done anything awakening in my life, I think. So yes, outside of having kids, getting married, I don't think I've done anything that's shocking, especially just for me and not me including other people. This was a personal decision, and it was a very big decision for me. So I was just like, well, damn girl, you did that. I think after the first couple of days where the excitement was calming down, I started feeling anxious, wondering, have I made the right decision for myself and for my family? But I didn't question myself for too long. So I did have that anxiety, but it wasn't long. I think I'd just been through so much in the place. In as much as my decision was very right now, I didn't regret it. I was just anxious if I'd made the right decision. But I got over it. The only other thing was that I was angry. I still am a bit. I was angry, man. I just feel those first 2-3 weeks, I was angry. I just wanted to go there and beat people up. But I think I was angry because I left without actually saying what is in my heart and what I was feeling to the people that I wanted to say. And also I think it was because even if I did get a chance to say, those aren't people to speak to, if that makes sense. Those aren't people, there are people where you can say, okay, I'll ask this particular person to sit down with them and chat with them and just let them know how I'm feeling, because you kind of understand that they would give you that opportunity, give you a chance, and they also are forthcoming with accountability. But there are just some people who that even if you were to get a chance to sit down with them, in the back of their minds all that's ringing is that, when will this end, and they just, whatever you say, I don't care, So either way, I have that where I know they wouldn't have cared. So I think that's the part of me that is angry, that I didn't say anything. But even if I did say anything, I probably would be even angrier, because the response wouldn't have been what I would have, expected. And yeah, man, I just realized that I made a good decision. I made a good decision for myself and for my family. We needed this. We really needed me to just take a step back from that environment, and I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to do this, and I'm able to make this decision and still have the support from my husband, my mom, and the kids. Especially, my mom and my husband, financially they've really had my back, so I'm grateful that I have that support structure. So one of the things that I say I'm still going through the trauma, that job had me questioning my self-worth. When I got there, they'll give you this amount of work, putting you on a high, like, yeah, you can do it, you like, you're young, you're smart, you're quick with things, you'll be able to do this job. And you make one mistake, and that mistake becomes who you are. They hold on to that mistake even when you are making improvements. I'd like to think I made drastic improvements where I was going through so much, and I was able to take on somebody else's job when they had an accident and they couldn't be at work for like 6 months. I was able to take on their job, handle my job, teach somebody else parts of my job. So, and I was studying. Like, this was my first year when all of this was happening, and I still managed to pass really well. I managed distinctions, being a mom, being a wife, like all of that. I was able to do that, but it just wasn't good enough. And they tried to be like, yeah, well, we just need to sharpen a little bit here and there. But there's a certain way of working this. In accounting, there's a certain way to do things. But in admin, there are certain things that one person likes them done this way, and another likes them done this way. Another one doesn't care how it's done, as long as the figures at the end are correct. So when somebody says, well, you didn't type the company's name with the font that I like, so things like that started hitting me very, very hard, and I felt bad. I honestly felt like, I started questioning my worth. And even in things that didn't apply to work, I've questioned if I'm a good wife, I've questioned if I'm a great mom, I've questioned if I'm good enough to be a student, and am I making the right decision continuing with my studies, because they played on my self-worth and my confidence. They really knocked it down to the point where even now, creating content, I criticize myself. Oh, I sounded awful. I stuttered a bit too much. I've had to make peace. I know that I stutter. Like, I'm very conscious of that. I know that I stutter. But now, putting myself in front of the camera, I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, oof, what if the word... Because if a word doesn't come, the stutter is strong. But it's those things where, oh, am I pretty enough to be in front of the camera? Am I, I'm questioning those things. So I'm starting to, yeah, man, it knocked me. And, the trauma, it's traumatic. It was traumatic working there. And, I on top of me doubting my self-worth, I was always tired. I'm still tired, but damn, I was always tired. Like, that job exhausted me. And fair enough, it was a bit far from home, and in the midst of all of that, I had to drive kids to school, then drive to work. Kids are at 2 different schools, so I'm already in my city spending a solid 30 to 40 minutes dropping off kids, and then I have to drive another 30 minutes to work. So yeah, that also contributed to my exhaustion. But guys, I was tired because I started this channel 2022, and at the time I wasn't studying, and I think I would have been able to create content during the weekends, but I was so tired. Like, I spent most of my Saturdays sleeping. Like on a Saturday I'd only wake up at around 1 o'clock. Thank God I have a nanny. Thank God. Because I wouldn't have coped having to come home, cook, clean, and do all of those things. And that killed also that killed my passion to cook for my family. Like, my family enjoys me cooking for them, but I just constant exhaustion. And then I think the worst one was the emotional numbness, because that had an effect on my kids. It's not fair. It was not fair for me to come home and just need a moment of silence when my kids needed me to hug them, talk to them, hear about their day, have a conversation, find out how they're doing at school and things like that. I was just emotionally numb that anything that needed me to be outside of that emotion. So if my daughter comes home and she goes, "Mom, I got 95 out of 100 for a test," I'm meant to be happy. I'm meant to be smiling and joyful and laughing when celebrating her. But now, I just emotionally, I was just like, "Oh, okay, well done, my child, well done, babe." And that wasn't fair on my children. And I'm great. I don't take for granted the fact that my child, like, I feel terrible for my eldest daughter, because she's managed to, carry herself through school and do really well. But now I realize that she actually needed me, because she crashed out beginning of the year. Just crashed out and was just like, I'm not doing okay. I'm not doing well at school. I'm not, well for her is not getting like A's, but when she's emotionally in a good space, she does really, really, really well in school. So when she dropped, I'm grateful that now I'm at home and I'm more stable, because I get to rest more. I get to re-energize myself, and I can see that I'm down. I was able to approach her situation of struggling with a kinder heart, and it wasn't a thing of, not that I would ever do this to my kids, but you know that feeling of, I've got so much to deal with, and now this. I completely stepped away from what she was going through. Like, it was not about me, it was all about her. And I was able to just figure out what she needed, and I was able to work with her and her teacher to say, okay, this is how I can support her, and I'm 100% behind her, energy wise, emotions wise. We've been sad in the moments where she was sad. We've been happy in the moments that she was happy. There wasn't a moment where I was lacking in terms of what she needed emotionally in that time and in that space. So I'm grateful for being able to do that, to step up, because I'd really dropped the ball. And I'm lucky that I was able to correct where things had gone wrong. I'm really grateful that I've had the opportunity to say, okay, I need to jack up, therefore she can jack up. And I don't take that for granted, but I definitely am like hacked at the fact that it got to that, to me being emotionally unavailable, I think, towards my kids. And may I never ever do that to them. Like, that is something I feel terrible about my children having to go through that for years. I'm just grateful that my husband stepped in when he can, and supported her, both the kids, when they needed to do, and my mom and my helper. Like, I'm grateful for them, because the mother figure was still there in the house that would support the high energy when the kids were energetic. But I'm grateful that I get the chance to step into that. Yeah. So where to from here? Where does the healing, where has it started? Where it is right now? I think taking it one day at a time. There are days where I wake up feeling guilty. There are days where I feel anxious of whether I should, if I were to get another job, would I be good enough for this job? Should I be applying more? Should I take a step back and reflect? So I have my moments, and I allow those moments to just happen. There are days where I wake up and I'm like, this stay-at-home mom, housewife thing is really not for me. There are days where I wake up and I'm like, maybe I should start a business. There's just so many things that go through my mind on a day-to-day basis. So I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm not making any decisions towards that. I think once I've finished my second year, maybe I'll start job hunting again, like properly. I don't want to go into a new job with past traumas where I'm questioning if I'll be able to do the job. So I'm just healing from that. And I think the one thing that I'm pushing to do is creating content, because the more I'm in front of the camera, the less I feel cringe when I hear like someone in the house watching my videos, because my family, they're all got phones. Everybody's got not everybody, but like my mom, my nanny, the kids, from time to time have their dad's iPad, but they won't watch my videos like privately where I don't feel uncomfortable. I'll be sitting in my room and I can hear my voice because they've put it on the TV, and I'm just like, yeah. So I'm just like, maybe to gain my confidence back, being in front of the camera is something I'm going to do. I'm going to be filming until it stops being cringe. So that's what I'm doing. Also having fun with the content creating, not overthinking it, because we have a tendency to do that as people, where you wonder, maybe if I change this angle, if I take this picture, and if I do that. So I'm doing all of this just to heal. And who knows, maybe content creation could be my full-time job, and it's something that I just need to take it one day at a time. That's what I need to do. Take it one day at a time. Like angifuna ukustressa ngilo ngicabanga ukuthi ngizoposta ngeke guys ngizothola enikutholayo, and you must enjoy it, because I'll make sure it's enjoyable. I think that's me. I've intensified in praying. I've intensified in reading my Bible and just calling God into my life. I've reached a point where I'm like, hey God, wait, my guy, I hand myself and my phefumulo over to you, do as you please. And so I guess I'm at that stage where I'm not planning too much. It's just in God's hand. If God says I must wake up and go study to be a teacher, I will do that. I'm not like God. So after my degree, I want to do a postgrad, and then I want to do an MBA. I'm not planning too much. I'm just gonna leave this in God's hand. I'm leaving it in God's hand to decide what it is that I'm. But for now, I'm just focusing on being a good mom, a good wife, a supportive wife. Because I think my husband's also at that stage where he needs me more than I need him. I'm about just supporting my family, supporting my kids, being available, being present. And also I think I'm a much better parent when I'm happier. And so that's what I'm doing. I wish I was journaling a bit more, because my brain goes at 1,000 kilometers per hour, and there are so many thoughts, and each time I have a thought, I'm like, okay, I need to write this down, and I never do. So I want to commit more to journaling for sure. That's something I want to do. And yeah, that's healing for me. Hopefully one day I'll see a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, somebody. Yeah, I think that's needed at some point. I'm not ready for it yet, but it's something that I definitely will do. Maybe just before I start a new job, or when like I have a new job, I just see a therapist, because I want to be able to discern when a place is taking its toll on me. I want to be able to see when I should not try, because I have constantly just been hard on myself, like, see, so you could be doing more, you could be doing better. Meanwhile, the place wants my soul. That place just wanted my soul. So I want to be able to be like, okay, le angi dinky, I've got to step away now. So yeah, that's therapy, Nj. Before the end of the year, hopefully I'll get another job. If not, I'll still go. I'll still definitely see a therapist. For my well-being, Nj, just for me to be being that girl again. And in closing, I have a question for you. Have you been in my shoes? Are you in my 3 months ago shoes? And what are you doing about it? What do you want to do about it? What do you need? Comment down below. If you feel too shy to comment down below, head on over to my Instagram and follow me there, and you can DM me. Shame. Like, if you were to go through my DMs of like the ladies that I speak to, oh shame. Me I know people. Like, I've never met them, but I know people because I yap. So my DMs are open for a yap session. If you need somebody to talk to, hit me up. It's Cindy Swandlovu at Cindy Swandlovu _ on Instagram, at Cindy Swandlovu _ on TikTok. Where else am I available? Facebook, Cindy Swandlovu. Where else? Yeah, and then here on YouTube, hit me up in the, if you wanna, vent about your work stresses. I think I'm here. I think we can vent together, me and you. But yeah, jokes aside though, feel free to leave a comment down below and really pour your heart out. I think this is a safe community, or 147 of you. You guys are a safe space, so feel free to utilize the space. And yeah, if you found this video helpful, inspiring, as whatever you felt about this video, please make sure to show it by liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and telling your friends to tell their friends to come onto the Forever Project, and let's grow together one day at a time. And I'll see you soon.